The moment fans have been waiting for has finally arrived. And it's not hype, it's not rumors, it's straight from the source. The general manager of the Indiana Fever has finally spoken openly about what it's really like to build a team around Caitlin Clark. And the truth might surprise you. For months, the spotlight has been locked on Caitlin Clark. Every game, every pass, every deep three-pointer has been dissected, praised, and sometimes criticized. But behind the scenes, there's a completely different conversation happening, one that fans don't usually get to hear. Until now, the Fever GM didn't hold back. Instead of giving a polished, PR-style answer, they went real. They talked about expectations, pressure, locker room dynamics, and what it actually takes to build around a generational talent like Caitlin Clark. And here's the first truth. It's not easy. When Caitlin Clark entered the league, she didn't just join a team, she transformed it overnight. Ticket sales exploded, media attention skyrocketed, and suddenly every game felt like a national event. But with that kind of spotlight comes something else. Pressure. Not just on Clark, but on every single player and coach in the organization. The GM admitted that managing this level of attention has been one of the biggest challenges, because now it's not just about winning games, it's about developing a young roster under constant scrutiny. Every mistake is magnified. Every loss becomes a headline. But then came the second truth, and this one says everything about Caitlin Clark as a player. According to the GM, Clark isn't just talented. She's obsessed with getting better. Behind the scenes, she's one of the hardest workers in the building. Early practices, late film sessions, constant communication with coaches. This isn't a player relying on hype. This is someone grinding every single day to justify it. And that changes everything. Because when your best player works like that, it forces the entire team to rise. The GM pointed out that Clark's presence has already shifted the culture inside the Fever organization. Younger players are pushing harder. Veterans are more focused. The energy is different. But here's where things get even more interesting. The GM also addressed the biggest question fans have been asking. Is it difficult for other players to play alongside Caitlin Clark? The answer yes and no. Yes, because Clark plays a unique style of basketball. Her vision, her pace, her deep shooting range. It's not something every player is immediately comfortable with. Adjustments are required. Timing has to develop. Chemistry doesn't happen overnight. But also no, because once players start to understand their game, everything opens up. The GM explained that Clark creates opportunities that simply weren't there before. Open shots, fast breaks, defensive mismatches. She forces defenses to stretch in ways that benefit the entire team. In simple terms, playing with Caitlin Clark requires adaptation, but the reward is worth it. Then came a statement that really stood out. The GM said that building around Clark is not about making her do everything. It's about finding the right pieces to complement her. That means players who can defend at a high level, players who can finish plays, players who understand spacing and movement. This isn't about one superstar carrying a team, it's about constructing a system where her strengths elevates everyone. And that leads to another truth fans need to hear. This is a process. The GM made it clear that while expectations are high, the organization is thinking long-term. They're not rushing decisions just to chase quick wins. They're focused on sustainable growth, building a team that can compete not just now, but for years to come. And yes, that means there will be struggles along the way. There will be tough games. There will be moments where things don't click. But according to the GM, those moments are part of the journey, not signs of failure. Another key point that came up was leadership. Even as a young player, Caitlin Clark is already stepping into a leadership role, not in a loud, over-top way, but through her actions, through her work ethic, through her willingness to take responsibility. The GM highlighted that leadership isn't just about scoring points, it's about setting standards. And Clark is doing exactly that. Now here's something fans might not expect. The GM also acknowledged the criticism. They didn't dismiss it, they didn't ignore it. Instead they said it's part of being in the spotlight. When you're a player like Caitlin Clark, expectations are always going to be sky high, and with that comes scrutiny. But internally, the organization isn't panicking. They see the progress, they see the effort. They see the growth happening behind the scenes that fans don't always notice. And that's why the confidence in Clark hasn't wavered for a second. If anything, it's stronger than ever. As the conversation wrapped up, the GM left fans with one final message, and it might be the most important one. Caitlin Clark is not just a moment. She's a foundation. The Fever aren't building around hype. They're building around a player they believe can define the future of the franchise. And that kind of belief doesn't come easily. It's earned through talent, through work, and through the impact a player has both on and off the court. So when you hear the noise, the debates, the hot takes, remember this. The people closest to the situation, the ones who see everything behind the scenes, aren't doubting Caitlin Clark. They're investing in her. And if the GM's words are anything to go by, this is just the beginning of something much bigger than anyone expected.